The next event that I'm going to talk about is why Bangalore-based BioCompute is leaving. They're shutting down their Indian operations and moving to San Francisco. The reasons cited is need for risk capital. Yeah, like I said in one of my previous videos, India has zero risk capital. Our R&D budget as a percentage of GDP is 0.67%, which is around $18 billion. We spend less than Israel does. Israel is a very tiny country with 1/8 the size of our economy. And they spend around $20 billion, 2 billion more than us. US spends around $1 trillion on research and development. China, same, $1 trillion plus on research and development. We spend 18 billion. So and in all these countries, 70 to 90% of the funding comes from private corporations. In India, people are extremely price sensitive, and I'm not talking about normal people. I'm talking about rich fuckers in this country. The rich companies, billion-dollar companies in this country, are unwilling to put their fair share into research and development like in other nations. Um, so we lack risk capital not because people are poor, because rich people in this country are fucking pussies. That is the only explanation for this. Talent, the other reason that they quoted was talent for frontier tech, which is basically what I said. India has a lot of engineering talent, but they're all subpar. They are third-rate engineers. We don't have frontier tech, frontier level talent. And the third reason that they gave is customers willing to bet big. Most of you, the viewers watching, are in this category. You are not ready for this. There is no customer base for, there's no deep appreciation for advanced or better products. We are okay with whatever we get. That is why we have base models in car. Other countries don't have that. US doesn't have that. All their cars are top models, fully loaded cars. We're the only one of the few nations that have, variants in cars. So the customer base willing to bet big doesn't exist. India's ecosystem isn't ready yet, despite strong talent. Okay, that is just a polite way of saying that India doesn't have the ecosystem yet. Despite strong talent is just she being polite. There is no strong talent. There's just, like I said, third-rate engineers. This has fueled debate on brain drain, deep tech challenges in India. Brain drain is not a real thing. You need to have brain in order for it to drain to other nations. The reason why BioCompute is moving to another country is because they have frontier level brain. We don't have that. We have engineers, but not frontier level engineers. And since we lack that, deep tech innovation is, despite funding, is next to impossible in this country. There are exceptions like, what is that company's name? Airbound is an example. Maybe Agnikul, Skyroot, these are exceptions. But most companies are just low-level engineering talent. We're not capable of deep tech. It's not like we don't have the funding. We don't have that talent. The average IQ of India is 80, which means half the country is below the level called as clinical retardation. And the other half who's above 80, most of the IQ people in the 80 to 100 IQ range who become engineers are not capable of deep innovation. So that is the bottleneck of our society, and it keeps getting better each generation. Each generation, I think, has an IQ increase of about 1.5 to 3 points, and each year of schooling increases IQ by 1 point some percent. So that does help. But we're not there yet. But since India has about 1.4 billion people, if you distribute that on a bell curve where normal is 80 IQ, so we have, if you move one standard deviation away, we have at least 140 to 180 million Indians that are triple digit IQ. So there is sufficient, like 140 to 180 million people is more than some countries' population. So we have triple digit IQ people within our country that can do this, but the high superstition and high science kind of coexist in this nation. So we're a nation, even when we are highly educated and have a high IQ, we are still dogmatic, And that is another limiting factor on our frontier level talent. We, even when we have triple digit IQ people, they're still, crazy and superstitious. And that is one of the few reasons, and they're extremely susceptible to wishful thinking.